what Bert was explaining is more of an internal website that helps us to communicate with each other. The Cape Cod Chamber has launched an effort to have a more outbound message, and that I touched on earlier this morning is called Live, Work, Play, Create. It says lunch, Chamber lunch. So we're going to, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this. The website has not yet launched. We're optimizing it for user interface so that it reads really well on smartphones, but essentially it's a brand new website, and it's going to leverage the 1+ million visitors, unique visitors that come to the Chamber's travel websites. And it's really just going to tell stories. I mean, it's going to tell the story about living and working on Cape Cod and why it's such a great place to live and why it's such a great place to work here. And it is really going to have a special zing with our creative economy. One of the things that we are really working closely with the Cape Cod Commission and this website is so that we can use this site to market business-ready addresses. We know that in order to tell the story about we want you to live here, we want you to work here, we have to tell you where you can bring your business or where you can grow your business. And it's not going to be shore-to-shore opportunity, but we can say, this is business ready, this is business ready, this is business ready. Pre-permitted, ready to go, come on in. If this works, great. If not, there's other options, but it may be a little bit more entailed. So quite honestly, the business-ready sites are some kind of obvious ones. We're looking at South Sandwich Village. We're looking at the Hyannis Growth Incentive Zone. We're looking at some other places that may be pre-permitted and ready to go. And as a result of last year's SmarterCape conference, there was one of the breakouts did a whole session on a designation for a SmarterCape Village. So the Cape Cod Chamber's Economic Development pillar has been working on what the definition of a SmarterCape Village would be. We're kind of vetting that list now, and we'll be pushing it back out to some town planners and others to say, does this make sense? And if a village can match maybe 70% of the criteria on that particular checklist, then we will promote that place as a SmarterCape Village. This is the new logo that's been created for Live, Work, Play, Create. We are going to ask people to use this logo. You'll notice there's no Cape Cod Chamber branding on here. We want this to sort of become the new sticker for Cape Cod. So if you think that this would look great on your website or some of your collateral, we're going to let you steal it. This is a screenshot. Sorry, it's a little bit fuzzy. This is a screenshot of the new Live, Work, Play, Create site. And again, it's going to do a lot of storytelling. We have taken photography of real people in their real situations, either young professionals, recent retirees, creative types, CEOs, all portrayed in their either place where they live or their place where they work, and sharing why they find Cape Cod a compelling place to live, work, play, and to create. So this was Jen Vila at her Little Beach Galleries, and this is a recently retired couple talking about being much closer and seeing the grandchildren. We're going to load this website with stats and facts. You know, they have the great statistics that are on the Cape Cod Commission's website, but we'll have other data sets here. And again, as a resource to you, but also as people are like trying to find out about living and working on Cape Cod, they're going to want to have real data as well to make an intelligent decision. This is also our wedding website, just so you can see how it has sort of that similar look with some of the icons and whatever. Our wedding website has just finished completion. We've just launched that, and so now we can finish the Live, Work, Play, Create site. The wedding business is actually pretty important to Cape Cod's tourism industry. It's pretty weatherproofed. Those brides are getting married no matter what. Hurricanes, doesn't matter. The tent's up, paid for, the band's playing, they're getting married. So another one of our initiatives is an arts app. Kevin Howard's going to speak more closely to that. But we're trying to use new technology as is possible and able. So the SmarterCape marketing that we did last year, how many of you remember the radio ads that we ran last summer in high season? So essentially it was, and I would run them for you again, except it's my voice and you don't need to hear that. But essentially what we did was we targeted people that were already on the Cape in the summertime. We figured, let's talk, let's shoot while the ducks are flying. People are here. They obviously like Cape Cod. They're here for some reason. And we wanted to plant the seed that broadband internet was coming, and it was going to be a game changer, and they could get more information. We had a customized 800 telephone number that literally rang on my cell phone. I was in Louisville, Kentucky, taking 800 phone calls about people wanting to get more information about Cape Cod. The radio ads ran all summer. We also ran Pops by the Sea. I tried to kind of pick some target markets, and it worked. It worked. But we were just kind of setting the stage for getting that information out. This summer we'll be doing phase 2. Actually, a lot of the proceeds from this conference will fund this marketing outreach campaign. We'll again be using radio ads in market, talk to people while they're here, while they're looking around, saying, Cape Cod's a pretty nice place. Talking about using direct mail, we have the new SmarterCape website, we have the Live, Work, Play, Create website, and then we'll be doing a social media push. Depending on how much money we can raise, we'll be doing some additional print advertising, maybe in things like Boston Magazine and other target markets. So that's whycapecod.org. That's the URL for this particular new website. We've already started to promote it in things like our travel guide, which is sold on newsstands across the country. We're putting ads in other pieces of our collateral and other places to try to siphon off some traffic onto this particular website. But once this goes live, we'll be asking all of you to link to this site as well. That will not only help with inbound traffic to this, but it can probably tell the story that you then don't have to build on your own website about the quality of life and it will all the business resources and information about our creative economy. So with that said, I'm going to turn over the lectern to Kevin Howard. Kevin is the executive director of the, how do you find the next one? Kevin's the executive director of the Arts Foundation of Cape Cod. Prior to that, he was the exec at the Cape Cod Conservatory, was responsible and helped with the merger of the symphony and the conservatory into one organization, and he is our partner in crime in a lot of our arts marketing, and he's going to explain to you about the Arts app. So Kevin Howard.
Hi, everybody. So one of the things that has been great over the years are the strategic partnerships like the one that has put SmarterCape together. I think when organizations work together, the results are a lot more profound. And here's another perfect example of organizations getting together. So in this case, we have the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce leading the charge, along with the Martha's Vineyard Chamber of Commerce, the Nantucket Chamber of Commerce, and the Arts Foundation of Cape Cod. And there are a few premises that everybody should understand, one of which is that cultural tourism is a huge part of the new traveling public. They are looking for experiences. It's wonderful that we have beaches and bike paths and all the things that people can do outside. But one of the things that's nice about cultural tourism is it's weatherproof. So we have a riches in terms of all the gems and jewels of theaters, cultural centers, museums. We have many, many things to do here. And one of the things that we're trying to do is establish Cape Cod and the islands as elite cultural destinations. So people's habits are changing in terms of how they are traveling these days. So how many people, when they travel, try to get everything into one bag when they're flying? Right. So that means taking things like a guidebook, magazines, books. It just doesn't work anymore. And so people are traveling in a different way. So one of the major thing that we tried to do here is create something that is digitally for mobile devices. So let me just down arrow, good. Oh, there we go. So we created these great past print guides. We had the Arts and Artisans Trail Guide. We had the source book for architectural and design elements. These were wonderful hard copy programs. And of course, the minute that you print them, they become out of date. And also, again, difficult to bring. So what's happening is that we recognize that we need to update these printed copies, but wouldn't it be better to find another vehicle to be able to deliver this information? So here are some mobile app stats. First of all, 46% of American adults are smartphone owners, and I know that comes as no surprise to everybody. That's everybody's little friend is their smartphone. 52% of U.S. leisure travelers have mobile devices. 63.3% of them are using them to plan their trip. 89.2% use them during travel. I remember a couple of years ago, I went to the Macy's Day Parade. There's an app for that. So you could follow exactly how what order the floats were coming in and all the bands, et cetera. 119% growth in the time spent daily on U.S. mobile apps. And 94 minutes each day on average people are spending on their mobile apps. About 60 minutes on Words with Friends and then another 34 minutes. I'm sure everybody is really happy, especially employers on that. But let's face it, everybody is using these mobile apps in their everyday lives. So what we tried to do is partner together. We've got we've got about 80 participating galleries, artists, venues. You have the opportunity to do many different things. We have one for Cape Cod, one for Nantucket, one for Martha's Vineyard, and we have the applications on a mobile web app, the iPhone app, and then you can also get it on your Android. The features, we have a mobile directory, a geolocational map, artist profile pages, news and event tabs, and app-specific Twitter feeds, so hashtag Cape Cod Arts. The accessibility and promotion, we're entering the app's URL into the web browser, scanning QRCs, or you can find and download it in the App Store. So if you go to your App Store and you look for Arts Cape Cod, you'll see a free opportunity to install. And the QR codes are printed promotional material, so you can just put your QR reader on it and get right to it. The progress right now is that the Arts app, Cape Cod, Martha's Vineyard, and Nantucket will launch by the end of March, which we did actually at the Creative Collaborative Conference right here in this room. 95 artists and venue participants in the first release. We're planning another enrollment cycle later this spring in preparation for the summer season. We've got all the snowbirds that are coming back and realizing, wow, this is a great opportunity for us. The thing that is great about it, and I invite you all to load it onto your iPhone today. There you go. I see everybody's starting to load. Allows users to easily find participating artists and venues and learn more about exciting events. I mean, the other part that is really terrific is this allows the participants to be able to update their information in real time. So it behooves them to keep things current, and again, it works much better for the people who are actually using it. Helps foster a more interconnected artist community, and it pushes artists to adopt new technologies to better market themselves. I have a couple of fun little facts. One is, let's see if I can get this here. We've had 519 uploads so far, 450 on iPhones or iPads, 69 on Android devices, 155 for Martha's Vineyard, and 88 for Nantucket. One of the things that I thought was very cool, 71 of the downloads were in Chinese, 59 in Portuguese, and 32 in Spanish. So we're really reaching out to the international traveler. I think the thing about cultural tourists that we love is they stay longer, they spend more money, they spend it in a variety of different ways, whether it's hotels and B&Bs or it's in restaurants or it's in retail, or it's going to actual cultural events, and they will plan their vacations around cultural events. And we at the Arts Foundation at Cape Cod are also looking into the possibility of setting up a Cape-wide ability to buy tickets so that we have an online presence, an Arts Cape Cod website with the opportunity to purchase tickets to all the events that are happening down here. So we're working on that probably for 2014. But I think it's critical that we've got these terrific partnerships that are going between the Cape Cod Chamber and the two islands. We're doing a lot of work with them. We collaborated with them on Fall for the Arts last year, and I think that's something that's going to really create value for all the organizations that are involved. So, any questions that anybody has? Yes?
Well, first of all, I made a point of transferring that app to the National Association of County Officials because they were looking for what we were designating as the most significant thing that happened with regard to supporting the arts on Cape Cod. And of course, I'll promote it more at our, at the national meeting in July. But the point is that this is very significant because it draws people in. I do have a question for Wendy, though. I love what you've done with the fish, and Paul will tell you that. As far as the codfish.
I was going to say, do you know what kind of fish it is?
The question is, when you put up that
trout.
work, that play,
Live, work, play, create.
play, work.
I'll tattoo it on your forehead, Bill.
We don't whale here. I was in Nantucket, on Saturdays. They used to make money whaling. We
Yes.
make money catching fish. So I would hope that if you look at that, you put a codfish up there.
Okay.
When you say live,
Okay.
because
We do have a whale tail up there, but I can make it the codfish if that would make you happy.
branding, Marketing 101 says you have to have a consistent logo so that everybody identifies what the brand is. The brand
Correct.
is cod.
Correct. You're right. That's a great piece of feedback. Thank you. We do. Whale watching is a significant industry.
The aquaculture and agriculture, contribution that makes to the economic vitality of the Cape.
That's right.
Next to the vitality of our tourist industry and that engine, it comes the hard-working fishermen that we have to go out in day boats that make this place happen.
Thank you, Bill. We actually thought at one point we would turn it into a little shark and see if anybody noticed. Change the little fangs. See if so watch closely. Any other questions or comments? It's good feedback. Thank you. Stay tuned for the summer advertising campaign, and please download the apps and support your local artists. Thank you. We're going to take a short break so we can do a technology flip out. So I believe there's cookies. There were cookies. There will be cookies in the hallway.